Hello viewer, today I'll be analysing Cosmic Armour Superman, also known as the Thought Robot. I'll be going through his origin, powers, limitations, and possible ways to deal with him. Disclaimers first, please support the official material. Stuff I show here is for informative purposes, and spoilers. On with the show. For sources, I'll be going through Final Crisis, Superman Beyond, issues 1 and 2, and dabble a little bit in the comic series The Unexpected. First off, what I'm about to go through is mostly my interpretation of the story. It's pretty complicated to me, so you may have a different interpretation yourself. So, Cosmic Armour Superman was created by the original Monitor, finding a so-called flaw in the Monitor overvoid. The flaw is a concept referred to as stories, which, from what I can tell, is a physical manifestation of the DC multiverse. The Thought Robot, or Cosmic Armour, is made up of divine metals, which was meant to seal up the supposed flaw from the overvoid. It's implied the Thought Robot formed the shape of Superman because of Superman's origin story, a child rocketed to Earth from a doomed planet, as a resonating story said to be indestructible and unstoppable. It's revealed Cosmic Armour Superman was created to stop a corrupted Monitor, referred to as Mandrak, who obsessively wishes to extract all the bleed from every DC multiverse, which would destroy it. Bleed is essentially the life force that keeps the DC multiverse going. Now, onto Cosmic Armour Superman's powers. First off, he has extra sensory abilities, similar to 4D vision Superman developed, being able to see limbo from the overvoid. He can also write legibly on a tombstone while blinded, if that's anything. Also, Cosmic Armour has fourth wall breaking awareness, knowing there's the comic book reader reading the story. Also, the Thought Robot has the ability to get stronger, adapting to achieve his programmed goal, which was to stop Mandrak destroying the multiverse at the time. Speaking of Mandrak, here is a quick summary of some of his powers that Cosmic Armour had to deal with. Mandrak is exceptionally powerful, able to produce the energy of 10 billion suns, and can utilize the power granted from the bleed. So much so, he is able to cause a lot of destruction in the overvoid during the fight, which is said to be very large compared to a DC universe. For a size comparison, Mandrak's destroyers are said to be larger than cities in Limbo, which are considered nanotechnology in the Monitor world / overvoid. He also seems to increase in power, getting the Monitors to believe him into existence. Mandrak also has some limited mind control or manipulation ability, getting Ultraman to worship him, and luring followers to drain their blood for sustenance. And finally, Mandrak has demonstrated the ability to control and or create phantoms and space destroyers to do his bidding. Additionally, he can get his destroyers to create reality blitzing missiles, each one presumably capable of destroying a universe. Given Mandrak's powers, it appears Cosmic Armor Superman, in terms of raw power, can go toe-to-toe with him, being able to survive the 10 billion suns attack and the extra powers granted from the bleed. It has been demonstrated he gets stronger to deal with Mandrak, and also contributed to the large-scale destruction in the Overvoid. He also appears to be immune to any of Mandrak's mind manipulation or control abilities, eventually defeating Mandrak despite receiving heavy damage. Despite being a huge powerhouse, there are some limitations we've seen with the Thought Robot. Throughout the fight, it appears he cannot repair himself after being heavily damaged. He also doesn't really show any reality altering or control ability, having had no ability to deal with Mandrak's phantom army or destroyers while he was preoccupied fighting Mandrak. Also, he requires a very high energy signal to go online, where a lot of antimatter energy was generated, then directed to Cosmic Armor Superman to activate him. Alright, that's the main gist of Cosmic Armor's powers and limitations. Now, aside from being more powerful than him and being able to adapt to his increase in power, here are some ways to possibly deal with him. First method is preventing the generation of a high energy signal to activate the Thought Robot. Previously, Captain Atom, an alternate version of Superman with Dr. Manhattan powers, had to combine Ultraman and Superman, where antimatter is generated when they touch, to generate that high energy signal. Captain Atom had to then use his multi-dimensional sensors to direct that signal to the Overvoid and get Cosmic Armor Superman to go online. Stopping any of these events to prevent the high energy signal from reaching Cosmic Armor can keep him dormant, which it had been doing for eons previously before awakening. Another more difficult method is to find loopholes in the Thought Robot's programming. Cosmic Armor successfully achieved its programmed objective to stop Mandrak from destroying the DC multiverse. However, it was not able to deal with Mandrak's destroyers, where the other Superman had to step in, destroying the reality blitzing missiles to ensure the safety of the DC multiverse. Further to that, Mandrak was shown to have survived his fight with Cosmic Armor Superman, where he waited for several years until his next attempt to destroy the DC multiverse, which was luckily thwarted by other heroes. Now, to get the Thought Robot to deactivate, you have to sort of get him to believe that he fulfilled his programming, and though not stated outright, it appears you probably need to be powerful enough to damage him severely to ensure he deactivates. In short, to exploit his programming, you have to find a way to distract Cosmic Armor Superman, accounting also for his extra sensory abilities. And somehow you have to get him to fulfill his purpose while dealing with you, and have some allies to work in the shadows while he's preoccupied. Otherwise, you could retreat So Cosmic Armour achieves his programmed objective, then deactivates, bide your time, then do your thing again. Now, if you're distracting him, it's highly recommended you power yourself up, possibly with the bleed, to damage Cosmic Armour Superman enough and ensure he will deactivate. So, in conclusion, Cosmic Armour Superman has super multi-dimensional senses and is undeniably a powerhouse. He, however, does have limits, unable to repair himself, and does not have any reality-altering abilities to note. And finally, to deal with him, you can prevent any high-energy signals from being generated and directed towards Cosmic Armour Superman, ensuring he never activates in the first place. Another more complicated way is to exploit his programming, distract him enough, then get some allies to achieve your objective in the shadows. Otherwise, if you're going solo, highly recommend you're powered up enough to heavily damage the Thought robot and then get him to somehow believe that he fulfilled his programming, then he will deactivate, and then at a later time you can go and complete whatever objective it is you want to do. Of course, that's just me. Read the full story and make your own judgments. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you had some food for thought, robot, about Cosmic Armour Superman. Thanks for watching and hope to feat you again.